everybody. Welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. Not really doing much today. I'm not tasting anything today because I'm trying to stay away from sweets. Maybe someday I'll come out here maybe with some cake or something, but yeah, not anytime soon. Okay, so I remember, oh, how'd this fall out? I remember last week we were talking about Danenska and how I had forgotten that I had the book and the notebook that I was writing notes in, and I thought I had the wrong one, and the whole time I had the right one. So I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe that. But I think I'm just having raspberry tea today because I don't have the variety pack anymore. And the only reason that I buy the variety pack is only because I like the True Blue berry. That's the only reason I buy it. But this one is raspberry. This one is Zinger raspberry tea. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't, if I do remember, the Zinger raspberry doesn't have that much of a flavor to it. That's probably why I never really stuck to Zinger teas. But, and I kept buying Celestial teas because they seem to have more flavor in them. But, I mean, it's all right. It's not bad, but yeah, I'd rather have something that has more flavor into it. Okay, so I did read a little bit of what was it called, the Christmas on Main Street. With Emma and Mark and Jack. It just seems like Mark wants to really find his way back into the twins' lives, Molly and Dylan. And if it wasn't for Jack, they wouldn't have been able to find Mark, because Emma was the one that sent Jack out, because he had his own business of looking for people, and if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't be part of their lives. So right now, she's kind of like, well, we had an agreement. They were going to first grade, and Jack was going to be there with Emma, to get them, introducing them to the first day of school and stuff like that, entering first grade, and then Mark just came out of nowhere and said, oh, he wanted to be there too. And Emma's like, no, we had an agreement. You just can't show up whenever, you want. You have to let me know in advance. And then he goes, well, if I would have told you, you just would have said no. She goes, yeah, you're right. I would have said no, because you have to stick to the agreement. And he goes, well, there's no harm in it. I'm just here, I just want to, be closer to the twins. She goes, yeah, well, if it wasn't for Jack, you wouldn't be here at all. So that's where they're at right now. So him trying to find a way to get back in. I think because Jack is now in the picture, that Mark is kind of like, he sounds like he's jealous. Oh no, he's not going to play father to my kids. I'm the father, and that kind of thing. So that's kind of like where that's leaning towards. So we'll find out what Emma's going to, decide to do. I mean, she does really like Jack. She really wants to be with him, but now Mark is kind of like in the way, kind of. So that's where that's at. So I didn't get much further with Exiled Dreamers. I know there was a few things that were missing, and sometimes I just like to write down and try to introduce you to the characters and let them know what they're going through, and this way I can let you know what the characters are going through because I'm reading it as well. And like I said, sometimes you could see when it comes to Tess and Dananska and Miss Sarangi and the other girls, it just seems like they all like playing a part in this whole series of the book, and each one seems to have like what do you call, what were those words called, like a bow say, you know, in the olden days. But because this was like in the 1800s, everything, or early 1900s or something, 1814, you know, they didn't have cars or anything like that. So it was in England, and it was in Napoleon's day, the Royal Crown. So they were all going through wars and things like that. So just trying to give you a look on a vision of how, you know, Danansky looked like. And you have to remember back then they all had these long dresses and stuff like that, and or her being, you know, our Tess, you know, grabbing Danaska's throat and shoving her against the wall and wanting to make her talk and stuff like that, and then, you know, the dripping of sludge on the wall, dripping, you know, to the ground from the chamber, which was a dungeon in the Sarangi house, because back then they had a lot of those dungeons, like what they call it, I forgot what it was called. In the day of King Henry, you know, they had those. I forgot what it was, that era was called. But yeah, so they had a lot of those castles. But in this case, it was a boarding school for girls. So that's where we're at right now. And I didn't really. Who was it? So let me just, so 23 was called Trespassers. And so Tess admits, after she had left Donnie in the chamber, in the dungeon, and she took the food tray and she left, because remember, she had a lot of wine and she drank a lot, and talking about, oh, you're going to have to give me more wine than that if you want to loosen my tongue. And remember, they're still trying to help her escape. So, and then she was worried about Lucien, because Lucien was, well, Tess thought, well, isn't he your lover? And she's like, oh, no, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, get out of where she's at, which was Sarangi house. So Tess admits that she doesn't hate Donnie anymore, and Miss Sarangi, you know, was like listening to Tess when she was talking. And Tess is more, feels sorry for her now. Not that, you know, she doesn't. Because back then, when Donnie was at the school, they were best friends. So Miss Emma hugs Tess, and she goes, she knew she still cared about her friend Donnie. They were close. Yes, that the ghost would be coming soon. So Jane jumps in. She goes, well, did she say anything useful when you were down there? I don't know if she mentioned about putting the knife to her eye or anything like that to Miss Sarangi. And she goes, yeah, you know, she's saying that Lucien, the ghost, would be coming, and for her, and wouldn't allow Donnie to be taken to London. He most likely would probably kill her as a rescue. So she knew that if Lucien were to come to help her escape, because she knew he wouldn't leave her there, but then again, she would be like a problem. So he would either help her escape or he would kill her. And Tess goes, well, don't worry, because if he tries that, I can help you. I can kill him myself. So, and then Mr. Ranji goes, well, he's not going to do that here. You know, he won't do that here, Emma said. Mr. Ranji. So then, and Tess goes, and if he tried, Tess would kill him first. And then Jane got all scared, and she's like, oh my God, you know, what about if he tries to sneak in? And, you know, there's Tess had already proven that there's ways in and out of the castle. And she goes, well, don't worry, that's not going to happen. Mr. Ranji steps in, and she goes, and you know, we'll plan Donnie's escape before he even comes here. So that's what they're working on. So then Jane was worried about Sinclair, her so-called beau, and him being in danger now that Tess had slipped, that he was there. Because when they were in the dungeon, they were talking. She goes, oh, so Mr. Sinclair is here. She goes, oh, well, that's what all that banging is about in the back, because she was hearing him. And she goes, Sinclair announced, and then after that, Sinclair announced that the warship was ready for voyage. And because they were all like part of it, you know, getting all the stuff that they needed to build the warship, they all decided to be on board and participate. The only thing about this chapter in 23, Ravencroft wasn't mentioned. He wasn't in this chapter. So the only time he was with her was when she got stung by the bees. And, well, he thought she got stung by bees. She just fainted. It was a dream that she was going through, because she has prophetic dreams. So that was the only time they were together. So yeah, so still going to continue reading. I'm almost there. I'm on chapter 24 now, so it's getting there little by little. I hope you can see me. All I have is natural light. I know the last time I came on here, my intro was really, really dark, and I don't know what happened. The aperture probably wasn't open wide enough. We don't know, but we fixed it, so I'm hoping it'll do better this time. And and then I did do a daily living vlog, and I did go to the thrift store, but unfortunately I couldn't put it in because my thrift store clip was on Instagram, and then when I tried to throw it into my gallery, I don't know if it was too short. It just wouldn't bring it to my my editing software. It just wouldn't go over. I just couldn't save it. So I'll remember to definitely not transport things from Instagram over to my camera, because that did not work. Okay, so another thing that I am into, and I had mentioned, was the Emily Post. This is so tattered. Look at this, guys. It is so, and it doesn't have the front cover neither. It's an old book that I had for years, and it's Emily's Post 15th edition. Now the thing about this is that I always did like, when it came to table manners, how to write letters, how to conduct yourself in certain places, if you're, you know, at a gathering or at a restaurant or a friend's party or something. So that always, you know, well, my mom always grew up with Donna Reed. I don't know if you remember Donna Reed. She used to be this household person, inspiration. And my mom used to watch her all the time. And she used to watch a lot of soap operas too. But I think it was Donna Reed. I gotta find out, but I'm pretty sure it was Donna Reed. And Father Knows Best, you know, all those old series, you know. So yeah, so that always, you know, I always liked how they took care of their house, and and Leave It to Beaver. You know, how they always had everything so perfect, and they managed everything, and they kept everything so clean. And I've been even watching these old films like in 1940, 1957, you know, on how people used to live, and even futuristic appliances they thought of having, in which now we kind of do have. So it's pretty cool. But I did read this one point of where Emily Post, because I saw it was in 1957, and it was the first time I ever saw Emily Post. And of course, her great granddaughter is, you know, putting stuff out there, but she's trying to say, well, not everything that my great grandmother wrote doesn't really coincide how we do things today, because if we go to a restaurant, and back in the day, it was easy to say, oh, well, we'll, instead of only one person paying for the whole check, we'll just divvy up and everybody will pitch in their share. But nowadays, everybody doesn't have the same wage as everybody else's, and the other person said, well, I don't have that much to pitch in. So it kind of like, because our way of living had changed, so has the manners of living has changed. So, you know, if somebody bought a steak and you just bought like a little salad, it wasn't fair for that person to pay, you know, well, back then, I don't know, like $12.50 or something, and the one who bought the salad had to pay $12.50 too. When in case you probably would have only had to pay like maybe $1.50. So back in the day, I'm just saying that's probably what it would have been. But I did read something, and she also said, you know, don't talk with your mouth full. That's a definite must. Shouldn't do that. But I did read something, and it was table manners again. It was based on table manners, and it was dining don'ts. And this one caught me because, you know, women, when they go out, they like to, you know, put that red lipstick on or whatever. I would rather, if you're going to go out, let's say to eat, put like a light pink, something light on your lips. Because she said this, don't, if you are a woman, wear an excessive amount of lipstick to the table out of consideration for the hostess's napkin, and also because it is very unattractive on the rim of a glass or on a silver. So don't, if you are a woman, wear excessive amount of lipstick to the table out of consideration for your hostess napkin, and also because it's very unattractive on the rim of a glass or on silver. And that's true, because we do tend to put a lot of lipstick, but she does say, like, when you're ready to leave, then yes, you could be at the table and groom yourself and put a little bit of, you know, lipstick. Because I even feel that way too. Like, when I always feel naked, I mean, not naked, but my lips feel naked when I don't have lipstick on, like when I'm ready to leave. So usually we get up and we go to the restroom and we touch up. But she's saying it's okay to do it right there. But yeah, but maybe you should carry two lipsticks, you know, one light pink, one pale, so when, you know, you're eating, you won't leave that rim. And we've all done it. You know how we drink and we have the lipstick stain is right here. I mean, I did that this morning because I had to go and I put it on red lipstick, and it's like, and then it even goes on the fork, you know, when you're eating and you're literally eating lipstick, especially when you're eating cake. No. Don't do that. So yeah, I would wear a light pale or pink, light pink, and then have a red one. And then when you're ready to leave the dining area, whatever, you could either do it at the table or go to the restroom and then touch up, and you're ready to leave. I would do it that way. Again, you know, we don't go through the same thing that we did years ago. I would like to get another edition, but I figure, and I'll just keep this one. I don't need a whole bunch of editions. And like her great-great-granddaughter said, I would have to pick up her edition because not everything that she wrote coincides with the way we live now. So it is a lot different. But I am going to read it nevertheless and get, you know, a little bit more tips, and I'll read them. I'll read them. Circes, get over here, and I'll read them to you. So just trying to keep a time on this. Okay. So yeah. So that's all I have for you guys for today. I hope you enjoyed the time here, and like a fish in the sea, glad you caught me, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys, have a nice day, be safe.